Earlier this morning, John Morosi broke the news that the Toronto Blue Jays are agreeing on a one-year deal worth $13 million with Justin Turner. In 2023, he enjoyed a stellar season with the Boston Red Sox and should provide immense offensive improvements to the Jays lineup. But at 39 years old, do we really know what we can expect from him in 2024? Turner is best known for his time with the Dodgers. In his 9 seasons there, he averaged 35 doubles, 25 homers, and 89 RBIs per 650 plate appearances while hitting a cumulative 296 average and 886 OPS. Those are elite numbers, and during this time he became one of the most consistent batters in all of baseball, and notoriously recognized as an unsung hero for the Dodgers throughout his spell with the club. His time with them, however, did come to an end out of the 2022 season when he signed with the Boston Red Sox. At this time, he was entering his age 38 season and was coming off the heels of his worst campaign since all the way back in 2013. Because of this, it would have been easy to assume he would continue to slowly decline until he retires, but that wasn't the case. With the Sox, he scored the second most runs in a single season in his career, hit over 30 doubles and 20 homers, while knocking in a career best 96. That's more than anybody on the Jays last season. So if he keeps going like this, he will be a huge asset to the Jays, who struggled mightily on offense last season, especially with runners in scoring position, something he did as well as anyone in baseball. But first, let's look at how the Jays did with runners in scoring position, and as you can see, not that well. Just a 260 average, 340 OBP, an abysmal 390 slugging, and an OPS of 730. But Turner, on the other hand, hit 338, had an OBP of 395, a slugging of 547, and an OPS of 943. Pretty funny that his average was the same as the Jays' on-base percentage, and his on-base percentage was higher than the Jays' slugging. If he continues with numbers close to that, then we could genuinely see him outdo his RBI mark from last season, which was already a career high, because he will more than likely be in the top half of the Jays' lineup. Last season, he started 144 games. 40 of which batting second and 101 batting third. As you can see, he performed far better in the second spot, giving the Jays the possibility of slotting him into the lineup there and having Bo back cleanup, something he did very well in 2021 when he hit 11 home runs and knocked in 36 runs in 51 games. But at least for the start of the season, I'd rather see the lineup stick with the original front three from last season, that being Springer, Bo, Vlad, and then either Justin Turner or Danny Jansen to back cleanup. It's definitely not as threatening as in 2021 or 2022, but it gives us much more of a cleanup type hitter than last season when the Jays had a plethora of guys bat there, none of which really did any damage. Now onto his defensive ability. For starters, he will more than likely be just the primary DH given his terrible defensive record last season with -4 outs above average at third. But he can still have some spot starts there and give Vlad half days off occasionally and fill in at first base where he's not as much of a defensive liability. These are all positives for the Jays, but now I do have to acknowledge that there is some risk associated with signing him. The first and glaringly obvious one is the fact that he's entering his age 39 season. That's a big number for baseball, and oftentimes there's no small regression associated with aging in baseball. Normally it all comes down during one season. Not to mention, playing in some demanding positions like third base and first will be very hard on his body. He is also a horrible base runner. Yes, even worse than Vlad. In fact, he ranked in the first percentile of baseball last season and has consistently been lower than 10th in the past few years. This isn't something most people talk about, but the fact that the Blue Jays ranked 27th in baseball in base running runs above average last season means they could have a shot at being one of the worst in the league once again. These are my initial thoughts on his signing, and to sum up, I am intrigued by his bat. If he is able to replicate his 2023 numbers with runners on, then I think he could outdo his production, which was already at his career best rate. He will also be able to back up multiple infield positions, which is a nice luxury to have. But we don't know if Father Time is knocking on his door, because at 39 years old, who knows if his fall off will be next season. That wraps it up for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed, leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.